In South Korea, there is no such thing as a mental health problem. The national attitude concerning mental illness is not looked at as something that could and should be openly discussed. South Korea has always been advanced in its work ethic and technology breakthroughs. Koreans are known to put in very long hours at the office as well as being very competitive, not to mention the amount of pressure put on students to do well in school. However, the whole situation in the country, including educational and working pressure, has influenced the people and mental health in South Korea. Over the last 50 years, Korea has undergone unprecedented economic growth and changes in social values. As a result, mental health problems have become a national issue. Korea has the second highest suicide mortality rate, 25.8 per 100,000 population, out of the country members within the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. South Korea is also experiencing common problems to post-industrial societies such as a gap between the rich and the poor, social polarization, social welfare issues and environmental degradation. Depression is rampant in South Korea because of its competitive yet empty culture. Much like Japan, they study all their childhood years away and then work a dead-end job with little to no purpose. This might seem a bit crass, but this is the reality many South Koreans face. In order to have a successful life, you either have to be extremely smart, or extremely attractive. For many South Korean children, parents rear their child to do well in academics. Sending their children to school, after school, and cram school, most children go to school 6 days a week for more than 10 hours a day. They do this in order to have their children become acclimated to studying. The college entrance exam taken at senior year of high school determines a large chunk of your future career prospects. Similar to the SAT format, the college entrance exam holds more weight. A certain score is required to even get into a reputable college. And without a reputable college on the resume and a reputable college education, it's nearly impossible to stand out in the competitive culture or network to those that are elites. The reason for the alarming suicide rate among students in South Korea can be attributed to the rigorous studying routines and the pressure the entrance exam puts on the students. But even if they were to land a job after their mediocre college education, many adults themselves are depressed because they work a boring 9-to-5 job in a cubicle with no apparent meaning in what they do. They merely work for the sake of money. They work a job that is not fun and has little room to grow. One of the most alarming things discovered when conversing with South Korean international students in America is that they believe being an idol or a Korean air stewardess is a prestigious job. Because these jobs require an attractive face and a desirable body, the attention they receive is equivalent to success. It's a very conservative and competitive society. People are also heavily judged on their physical appearance. It is not uncommon for people to make casual comments that could be considered negative about someone's physical appearance. There is also a lot of pressure on people to get married and settle down and have kids by a certain age. For men it is in their mid to late 30s and a woman should ideally be married off before they hit 30. Korean society is also rife with alcoholism. Alcohol is a depressant and the way alcohol is consumed contributes to Korea's depression problem. Soju is often referred to as Korean vodka, and is the most popular alcohol in the world with 20% alcohol by volume, which is between hard liquor and wine. For men, drinking heavily is viewed as manly. Also, Koreans are under incredible pressure to attend these heavy drinking parties when they are hosted by the company. Not attending can cause someone to be considered an outsider. In South Korea, mental illness is taboo, even within a family. Over 90% of suicide victims could be diagnosed with a mental disorder, but only 15% of them received proper treatment. Over 2 million people suffer with depression annually in South Korea, but only 15,000 choose to receive regular treatment. Because mental illnesses are looked down upon in Korean society, families often discourage those with mental illnesses from seeking treatment. Since there is such a strong negative stigma on the treatment of mental illnesses, many symptoms go unnoticed and can lead to many irrational decisions including suicide. Additionally, alcohol is often used to self-medicate and a significant percentage of attempted suicides occur while drunk. Today, more and more South Koreans are realizing they need to figure out a way to deter stress from their life. As a result, South Korea holds the highest rates of cancer survivals while also having the 9th lowest obesity rate in the world. Thankfully, the South Korean government is understanding the need to educate its citizens in personal self-care. The government target is to reduce the suicide rate in the next 5 years from the current 26.5 per 100,000 people to 17, which is the current suicide rate in Japan. Success can only start when the stigma of mental health in South Korea and stress is recognized. Only then, the country and its people can move forward in full capacity.